be the Crown Vic and the Dodge Charger, which we have out there in front. Do I have a motion to approve of this as far as the advertising?
So moved.
Bob? I'll say.
Okay, the two vehicles, so folks understand, one's the 2007 Crown Vic, mileage is low, and the 2011 vehicle. We have 6 vehicles, we have 5 full-time officers. And with insurance, with our financial situation, and the amount of money we have in our general fund, we really have no choice. We're scraping here.
So I have a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay.
Put the Crown Vic in the garage.
Yes, Dodge Charger.
All right, now, we're going to try to get this back by the next meeting. Can we do that? By the August meeting, can we, how long does it take? Where do we suggest we're advertising?
Municipal first.
Bid.
Municipal.
That did well last month.
Yeah.
We sold them one for $4,200.
That was it nationwide. They take a percentage,
When they put the bid in, they take 10% down.
10% down.
And then the winning bid, when he comes to pick up the car, has to have the remaining in a cashier's check.
10%.
Okay, and could you put it so that they're back in here by the township meeting in August?
Did you get it?
On the electricals and everything, the cars,
Yep.
description, mileage and everything.
Right.
And then if the interested buyer wants records, you know, the upkeep of it, I
Yep.
report it.
Okay. Let's go down now. Police chief, he's not here, he's on vacation right now. Fire chief report, Mr. Payne.
For the month of June 2018, we had 10 false alarms, 15 medical calls, 4 motor vehicle accidents, 1 standby, 12 public service, 1 landing zone, 2 structure fires, and 1 forcible entry, for a total of 46 calls for the month. Year to date, we've had 228. During that month, 8 of those 46 were Chestnut Street flooding.
Gary, I think just, not to interrupt you, but I was just thinking, we had sent the letter, just to let you know, the Gutman, right here, I think we sent the letter, Mr. Gutman. Had you had any, nothing back?
Now, the more I think about this, I think that the property owner's permitting a public nuisance to exist. And even though it's flooding a state road that we don't have any control over, it's happening within our township and it's creating a safety issue. I think code enforcement could file a public citation for nuisance.
There was a motion to have Jared be able to do that.
Yes.
State law.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's, why don't we just put that in?
Motion to instruct Jared to
I'm
issue.
okay, very much in
Yeah.
favor of that.
Yeah.
We got to get going on that.
Okay, we have a motion for,
Move.
you know, as far as our code enforcement officer to go ahead and make this move and
Okay.
go that route. Bob, you vote yes?
Yes.
Cindy, you vote yes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So tell Jared we need to do that. Yeah, it's getting, that's, I was gonna tell you, we
Yeah.
sent a letter and got nothing from them.
Hey, well, just so you know, we were in touch with Cameron Bartolotto also.
Okay.
Talked to her office. I talked to her personally Saturday about it, so she's aware of it. She was going to talk to someone else. So.
It flooded the other day.
Yeah, Sunday. We didn't get called, but it did flood.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It went away quick.
Yeah.
But it, you know.
Say it didn't rain that much.
No,
It rained hard for a few minutes.
A few things the fire department has going on. At the end of this month, there's a Blue Knights motorcycle ride. They've asked us to assist with bikes to be coming in 18 to the American Legion on the final leg of the run. We'll be helping them with that. Last weekend, we were with the Southwestern PA Legal Services, had a 50th anniversary Kids Fest up at the Wild Things Stadium. We were up there for 4 hours, talking with the kids and handing them out things. Fire company is buying 16 new air packs. Our air packs we have, most of them will be expiring soon. We're spending over $102,000 just for these 16 air packs. We just got approval to buy 5 new sets of gear at a cost of $13,000. Our new rescue we bought, we still owe $70,000 on it. With all those totals, we are having a gun bash in September, so I know Joanne has tickets down here. Anybody that knows anybody goes to gun bashes, let them know that we're having it. It's advertised on the board. We need money. Thank you.
Dave, in your report, you mentioned landing zone.
Yes.
What does that mean? What is that?
For medical helicopter?
Okay, so you assist.
Yeah, we have to go set, make sure the landing zone's clear, make sure everybody's away.
Okay.
And we just have a truck there in case something.
Is there a designated landing zone in the township?
We have 5 of them. From our fire station, the mall, Trinity, both middle school and the high school, Ramada Inn, and then something on the interstate. We can set the interstate now, but we do have designated. Those coordinates are all programmed into the helicopters. We tell them we're going to LZ number 4301. They know to come to the fire.
Could you wait, Mr. Batts, until I get, not, just wait. Okay, solicitors, code enforcement, I'm sorry.
All right. So in the past month, we have had 3 trash and junk violations. We investigated 16 grass complaints and 7 in the other category. I wrote down here, for the road crew, I wanted to thank them. They did a great job cutting all the grass, cleaning up different properties, so I greatly appreciate that. 2 items, let's see, 690 Cleveland Road. I think I brought that up last month, but we had a citation that was issued in January, and there hasn't been a plea entered. There was a mobile home there. Pieces are still remaining, some things there. If the road crew would want to clean that up, we would appreciate that. Now the grass is getting really high there as well. Then a newer one, on Williams Street, there's a property, 970 Williams, where the same situation, won't enter a plea on the citation. This has been open since February. And we've been getting complaints recently on nuisance vehicles that are there. The ordinance allows us to hire a salver and take the cost plus 10% to have those removed. They have to be in storage for 10 days and the party's notified that they're there. And after that you can scrap them, do whatever you want to do with them. So if the township's willing to go in that direction, I think that's the only way we're going to get any traction there.
That's on William Street, right?
Yeah, it's right at the end, closer to Franklin Farms.
That's the one since February?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yep, and if they don't enter a plea and nobody serves the papers, there's nothing they can really do, so we get the help from the township. So and I'll send some documentation. I spoke with Martha about it, so I'll get those forwarded on to you guys. And
We'll go ahead and move.
all right.
Where do we stand with the lumber yard now?
I think that there's still action with the lawyer, that we're still trying to deal with them. Jared's dealing with that, but he's, I know he spoke with the lawyer, and it's very hard to get a hold of him. Yeah. So he's still working on it, but you know how that goes with lawyers. Usually it takes a while, but I think they are. Oh, we love Gary. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were still looking at the CDBG funds.
It's a name.
Yeah, they were looking to hopefully tap into that to demolish some of the stuff, but
For that
yeah,
building?
there's not a whole lot of progress.
Can we talk about demolishing that building or no?
I think Jared, that's what he was pushing for. Right.
But that's going to require an engineering report that it's totally unsafe, unfit, it's a hazard, and we need an engineering report before we start that.
Keep delaying it somehow.
Where is the building?
Next to McDonald's.
Oh.
As you
It's
start
on,
up to the Ramada.
Who owns it?
On Chestnut.
Sprouse.
Browse.
So have we put anything into her? Because I know she didn't answer about our property, so has she replied back to those letters?
Through her attorney.
Yeah, everything's been through the attorney. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's delaying quite a bit.
Is that right away through you?
I'm sorry?
Ain't that her right?
Yeah, that's still flooding between my house, and she won't reply back either, so.
Could you also check the property there at the Bonanza? The grass is getting very high again.
Bonanza.
Steak
I'm
USA
sorry.
Steak.
Okay, yeah, I remember last year we had to do that too, so I'll check that for sure. Is
Yeah.
there any questions from anybody?
So we are gonna file something for the William Street?
We're gonna have to remove the vehicles.
We have to remove
Yeah. There's a process there, but they have to go in storage first, and then we can scrap them. But yeah, if she's not willing to enter a plea on the citation, that's what we'll have to do.
And then what would be the next step with the lumberyard on the township part?
I think we're gonna have to get Rick Rush involved to give an evaluation.
Eventually, pretty much with anything, you have to, if the township gets involved, we would take the steps that they're required to take and charge them for it. And we either lien the property or give them the bill. It's got to sort of be that route. So eventually that's going to have to be what happens, I think.
So that's what should be on the agenda that we're gonna do then?
It's all gonna be contingent on their budget restraints right now. I don't know how many side projects you can take on to rectify right now. You gotta be careful.
And whatever you direct us to do, we're happy to accommodate.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you guys.
Gary, do you have anything you want to add?
You set the hearing on the joint zoning project between North Franklin, Hopewell, Canton, and West Middletown. And those amendments, those zoning ordinances, zoning map, shared uses, that's all in place. I believe it's on record here for individuals if they want to review it. Is that right, Julian? It's here.
It's here.
Are you going to do a public notice?
Pardon me?
You're going to do a public
Yeah,
notice?
we're going to do advertising. On Macquarie Road, it looks as if Rick Rush has come back to say he's done a thorough investigation and he really cannot make a case that it's Mark West's responsibility to make any repairs. And it's his opinion that we really can't hold up the bond anymore. Number 4 is another potential litigation matter that we're going to have to wait for Chief Fox to get back. And I know that Martha and Michael in my office, Rick Cleveland, and Rob Phillips redevelopment met, reviewed all the questions the DCED had proposed regarding the reimbursement to the township for the bridge contribution. They answered all the questions. They came up with all of the requested documents, and those have been forwarded to the DCED. So we hope that we'll hear back quickly from them. They haven't said they need any more information. Rob and Rick Cleveland believed that that was going to be all that was needed. So that's where we are. Just want to give you an update on Jody's situation, Jody Morris. As you know, there were 2 projects that involved flooding in the area, and both of these projects, it was difficult to ascertain whether or not it was the township's responsibility, the property owner's responsibility, because it was difficult to assess the exact cause of the flooding. So the board has taken the position that it was going to correct the flooding because it was encroaching on a township asset, i.e. stormwater basins and or roads. In a spirit of cooperation, the township went ahead and did these things and then approached the property owners to see if they would make any contribution. I sent a letter to Jody and her brother, I believe James Schaefer.
My fiance.
Her fiance, letting them know what was done and sharing with them a copy of the invoice that the township had incurred in correcting the problem and then in reseeding, restoring the area. This was the Mark Tarbuck invoice. Jody called back after she got the letter and was able to review the invoice and did have some questions. As you know, we requested some contribution. She didn't say no, but she didn't say yes because there's still some issues in her mind. The first statement she made, Jody, you correct me if I'm wrong, she did not believe any mulch had been delivered to or stored anywhere on the property. And the invoice does talk about mulch.
I can say there was no mulch.
Okay. Because he makes reference in his invoice to mulch.
Did he say something about topsoil? When he makes topsoil?
He added topsoil, but I also, Gary, I didn't bring that up to you.
Topsoil written separately from
Well,
mulch?
he brought in, he said 13 loads of topsoil, which he'd never brought in 13 loads of topsoil because he dug out dirt. Why would I need extra loads of topsoil? There's no reason I would need 13 loads of topsoil. You didn't go any deeper.
It was to get over that pipe.
Well, you guys took the dirt out of the pipe that was originally there, so there's no way that he hauled in 13 loads of topsoil. So I have a camera system, and there was not 13 loads of topsoil that was brought in.
That's something we're going to have to address. But she's raised the issue, no mulch, and he's identified mulch. The question is whether or not there were in fact 13 loads of topsoil brought in. And the last thing is she said that the seeding and fertilizer is not working.
No, it
There's
looks like-
nothing that's growing.
So there was not, and my dad did this for a living, but there was not 4 loads of screened topsoil. There is some kind of topsoil, but it's very rocky and it's not growing. I mean, we have, no, it's horrible. If you come see, it's horrible. It's not growing. So we're going to have to redo it in the fall to redo that. And then when you look at the backyard, the section that they did do is higher than my other section. So it's not like it used to be, it was flat. So this side is higher here. So now if we get flooding again, it's angled right towards my house. So it's gonna come right into my basement door. Whereas before it went next to it. But the way that it's leveled out now, it's gonna go right into my basement because it's not leveled out the way that it was.
They had so much trouble getting that pipe buried down in the ground because it was working in a foot or so of water, and I don't know how they got the job done.
But when they finished it though, Sylvia, there wasn't that much water because they waited because he went on vacation, remember?
I think it would have been better if they would have removed that thing and dug that thing out all over again, but they didn't want to go through, because you have to go up and dam the water,
Yeah.
and that's the only way you can get a good job done.
So I think I agree with you. I don't think the pipe's I don't think it's level.
No, it's not.
It's not. So my yard is higher on that one side, and so now it's marshing in my backyard, which it didn't do unless we got flooding. So my back area where it used to be non-marshy is now marshy when it rains because it's not level.
Well, maybe, I recommend that you contact Mark, get him out there, and have him give us some kind of response or a corrective measure. Because those are reasonable comments.
Yeah.
And if I can just, can I speak now because it's on my property?
Sure.
So to me, the invoice that they gave, the first price is $3,890. That is to dig out, remove, for all that laborious that they had to go through is $3,800. And then to just seed my yard and to lay straw and seed is $4,975. I have to tell you that I got other people to look at this bid that do this and come out and look at my yard, and the prices are wrong. I mean, to me, watching them, what they were doing, the laborious part was removing the pipe, getting down in all that much, but you're going to charge me $5,000 to put seed, grass, and hay down. So to me, I think we need to look at Mike Tarbuck. And why are we using Mike Tarbuck if we're getting charged $5,000 to seed my area? That's crazy. I had my whole entire...
What did he say that the topsoil was?
Just as a total of $4,975.
I'm sure that included the topsoil.
But there's no way, Sylvia, that they brought in
Well, I don't
13
know. I don't know
loads
about that.
of topsoil.
Light on that, light on mulch, light on it
Straw
all.
and the topsoil, that's all it should be in landscaping.
Yes.
There was no mulch put around your house.
There was not, because you guys didn't do any mulching. But to me, it's backwards. To me, the $5,000 should be in the laborious part that it took those guys, because that was a lot of work to take that pipe out, to get all those timbers out of there, to get the railroad ties. To me, these prices are really reversed. So my question is, going forward, are you guys going to get other people to do bids to do this? Because I know we didn't do bids because it was an emergency, and I know it's under $10,000, so you guys don't have to do bids for that. But to me, and I was also told, I don't know if it's true, that Mike Tarbuck's related to people inside this building, and that's why we use Tarbuck's instead of using other people outside. But to me, when you look at this bill, the totals are backwards to me. There is no way that putting that grass and all that down is $5,000 and that the laborious part is only $3,000. With that being said, Silvio, I had called you and Martha and Bob while I was at the beach on vacation to discuss that my camera picked up that there was somebody at my house. So I didn't know who it was. I had roofers coming out.
I did that. I drove past there and I saw 2 cones and they were tilted. I said, holy hell, is that thing sinking? That's why I told Bill to go out there and see. He said,
and I appreciate that.
He
I
said
do.
it was clear off for the construction.
Yeah, those are horseshoes, so we put those out there so that nobody hits those poles.
Because they were leaning, I said, oh, something's sinking.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. But my concern when I called was that I didn't know, number one, anybody was going there. I do have 3 dogs, and I was out of town, and I had a young girl watching my house. So when I asked about it, you explained that it was Bill Pettit. I kindly asked just in the future that I'm notified that somebody's coming on my property. And Martha was very rude and ignorant on the telephone call. You were not. Bob was not. Martha was inappropriate. So then Gary, went in to discuss the letter that you had sent me, and also about Martha telling people in the community that you guys were putting a lien on my house because I was not paying for this portion, which, Gary, you cleared up. Martha, in turn, on the conversation, got up and walked out of the room because she said that she wasn't listening to me. So I politely waited until Martha returned to the room to have my conversation, and she hung up on me and told me that she had another telephone call to take. And I do believe as a township manager that good or bad, just as a supervisor, you have to listen to your people that are paying your salary. I'm a taxpayer. I pay my taxes every year. I'm not late on my taxes. I was not rude in there. I was very frank as I am now. You're on my property and accusations are being made that you're going to put a lien on my house. I work for the county. I don't appreciate it. I never said I wasn't going to pay anything, but I can tell you with Martha's intervenience and her inappropriate behavior, I don't think that we're going to pay anything. I was glad to deal with Bob.
When she was talking to me on the phone, and her words, when she got up and left, she said, Jody, I'm not going to argue with you. And she was thrown out of the room.
But she didn't tell me that she left the room. I kept speaking.
She just said, I'm not.
I kept speaking. Did not know that she left the room, and you told me that she went to the bathroom. And I said, well, I will wait. Yes, you said she went to the restroom. And I said, well, I will wait till she returns. She came back in and said, are we done yet? And I said, no, because you left the room. So I started to reiterate what I was saying to her about the lien. And she said, I have another call coming in, and she hung up on me. So I don't believe, as a township tax-paying person, that she's doing the job that she needs to be doing, making $20 an hour when we can't afford to pay bills and we're getting ready to sell cars, but we're going to pay her $20 an hour to do what? It was rude.
Okay, I'm only going to add, since I'm sitting in there, that I'm not commenting on any of the things that you said about her. Or I'm only going to say that your side of the story as to what occurred in the room. I was basically in there quietly. I didn't say a whole lot, correct?
No, you did not.
Your side of the story is correct as to what transpired in that phone call.
So with that, I would ask for a resignation. She is not
You don't have
conducting
that
herself.
choice, ma'am. That's it. Okay.
All right, so
What
Bill,
about-
hit Mark on out there. Just take a
What about
look
the
at it.
township as a whole? What about the township as a whole asking? This young lady asked for a report.
Hold on, we gotta have public participation. We gotta finish this meeting.
Okay.
When we get to public participation,
okay.
we're going to let them talk. Because there's
Okay,
people.
Gary.
And then I sent a letter to Mr. Trevisano as well. I think you didn't give him a copy of that. Okay. I don't know that that work has started. Trevisano?
Done.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
done.
Well done.
Yeah, I took Sarah from Rich's engineering firm out there. I said, whose problem is this? And when she looked at the situation, she said, the water is North Franklin's water, and it would be our obligation to go to court and prove it wasn't, rather than fix the problem.
So it's been fixed.
So we fixed it and then run into a snag because he went out the next day to reseed, and it all washed away. Well, the inlet on the other side of the road must have come under that pine tree or around the other way, because they didn't hit no tin whistle going down with the new pipe at all, where the other one was supposed to have been. But further on down, there was, when they started digging the thing back up again, that's when they dug some tin whistle pipe. It was all rock. The stuff under the road was no bottom in it at all. It would have been foolish for us to fix the bottom and not take that section out of the road because we'd have a problem all over again, so.
The discrepancy, and correct me if I'm wrong, the discrepancy in the two bids from Trevor Money and Mark Tarbuck was that when Trevor bid it, he bid it correctly because he bid a Y from one culvert over here, one culvert over here coming together. When Mark did the job, he only did one straight line, and then the problem occurred. So he had to reconnect it with an elbow. Okay, so, and that's why Trevor's bid was almost $1,000 higher. The only thing I'm going to request is that we not accept any higher amount from Mark than what Trevor bid. You see what I'm saying? Because Trevor bid it correctly. Mark, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it was his fault or the township's, but he didn't.
Dig both sides up, get them together and see what that's going on, so.
Can I ask a question on that?
Not right now, ma'am. We're still in the meeting.
I can't ask a question on what he just stated?
Not right now. You can
Okay.
go before.